I remember the smell of rain on that Tuesday. The air was cold, and the old house felt very quiet. My heart was heavy and full of secrets. I sat on the wooden floor of my father's bedroom. He had been gone for 1 month now. The silence in the room was louder than any noise. My hands were shaking as I touched the dusty wood. I was looking for something, but I did not know what. Life is strange like that sometimes. Then I saw it. A small gap between two boards near the window. My fingers felt a cold piece of metal hidden deep inside the dark crack. I pulled the wood up with a slow, tired strength. Beneath the floor, there was a small tin box. It was covered in years of gray, thick dust. I blew the dust away and watched it dance in the light. The sun was setting now. The orange light made the room look like a memory. Inside the box, there was a single, yellow piece of paper. It was a letter. The handwriting was messy, but I knew it was my father's hand. "To my son," the first line said. I had to stop breathing for a moment. My eyes filled with tears. I could almost hear his deep voice. "I am sorry for the things I never said to you," it continued. "I was a proud man. I thought strength meant staying silent and never crying. I remembered him sitting in his chair every night. He never hugged me. He never said he was proud. We lived together, but we were miles apart." The letter talked about a day at the lake 20 years ago. I was 5 years old. I had forgotten that day until I read his words. "You caught a small fish and laughed so loudly," he wrote. "I wanted to tell you I loved your joy, but the words stayed in my throat." I closed my eyes and saw the blue water of the lake. I felt the heat of the summer sun. Why did he keep this a secret? "I watched you grow into a good man from a distance," the letter said. "I was always there, even when you thought I was looking away from you." The paper felt thin and fragile in my hands. It was the only bridge left between us. I felt a sharp pain in my chest, like glass. I realized that my father lived in a cage of his own making. He wanted to reach out, but he did not know how to start. "Please do not be like me," he wrote near the end. "Speak your heart while the sun is still high. Do not wait for the long night." I looked around the empty house. All the furniture was covered in white sheets. It looked like a forest of ghosts. I felt very small and alone. I thought about my own life. I thought about the woman I loved but never called. I thought about the friends I had pushed away with silence. The cycle of silence was a family tradition. My grandfather was quiet. My father was quiet. And I was becoming a quiet, lonely man too. I held the letter against my face. It smelled like old paper and tobacco. It was the only hug he ever gave me. I began to cry. The tears were not just for him. They were for the years we lost. We spent decades in the same house, but we were two different islands. I stood up and walked to the window. The rain had stopped. The world outside was wet and shiny. Everything looked new and very clean and bright. I took my phone out of my pocket. My hands were still shaking, but my mind was finally clear. I knew exactly what I had to do. I called Sarah. She answered on the third ring. Her voice was soft. "Hello?" she said. I took a deep breath. I chose my words carefully. "I am sorry," I told her. "I have been afraid to speak, but I am here now. I want to tell you everything. Please just listen." We talked for an hour as the stars came out. I told her about the box. I told her about the letter. I told her I loved her. The heavy weight on my chest began to lift. It was like the sun coming up after a very long winter. The silence was finally broken forever. I went back to the floorboard and replaced the wood, but I kept the letter in my pocket. I would never hide it away in the dark. My father's mistake was his final gift to me. He showed me that words are the most powerful things we own. They can build or destroy. We often think that being strong means being cold. We think that showing our feelings makes us weak, but we are wrong. It is the opposite. It takes great courage to be vulnerable. It takes a brave heart to say, I need you. Do not wait for a letter under the floorboard today. Love is not a secret to be kept in a tin box. It is a light that must be shared. Speak today, for tomorrow is never promised. I walked out of the house and locked the door. I was leaving the past behind. I was walking into the light of a brand new day.